In this video, I'm rolling with Turk again and new white belt Frank. He's 53 years old, so I called him 53-year-old Frank. So this is Turk, or Turk 182. I have a couple of rounds with him already. They'll be in the description. And we're starting off here with a butterfly sweep. So I'm going to put this one into slow motion. As you can see, I load him up on my right leg while controlling his left arm. You can't see it, but I'm controlling the left arm. Now, as I start to kick him over, he has great balance, but my left leg tilts his hip in the direction I want him to go so I could complete the sweep. So you always want to use as many levers as possible. I could have just kicked him over maybe, but he has good balance. Plus, he's probably a 200-plus pound CrossFit athlete. He's Big Billy, Game of Thrones Billy's brother. Billy was the white belt that submitted me in the white belt submits purple belt video. I'll actually include that in the description as well. So here I'm looking for the shoulder crunch. He's so strong. I mean, if you could tell just by looking at his arm there, his arm is probably close to the size of my head, his bicep. So there I could have went into the triangle, which I would have done on most people, but I felt with him, with his grip and the way he was posturing, that I was going to lose it, so I didn't finish it. But normally I would finish that on 99% of people of regular size. So here he goes, he's posturing up, he's doing a lot of wrist fighting. You see this with newer people. They do a lot of wrist fighting when my knees are still between us. And here I'm trying to take his back. Again, on most people I would have been able to finish this, but he's trying to posture up, so I'm hanging off his neck. And then I guess, I don't know, I got tired, I let go of it, and then he was able to pull his arm out. Maybe I didn't get tired. Maybe I felt like I was just straining too much. When I feel that I'm straining too much, I take my foot off the gas pedal. Picture if you were driving a race car and the RPMs are in the red. No matter what's happening, you got to take your foot off the gas pedal and accept the consequences if you want to develop good jiu-jitsu. So there I was able to get him into my full guard, and as you could see, it's a more relaxed position for me because I could take a few breaths here. Not that I'm out of breath, but I don't want to become out of breath. So he's pushing into me. He uses a lot of pressure. He'll be a pressure passer one day. He just doesn't know how to apply it yet, but I could tell by his style. So here he's trying to pull my leg by and pass, and I knew that. So as you could see, I fought a little harder than normal to get my foot released from that position, because if I would have left it there, he could have just threw it to the side and passed. So here I'm just controlling his posture. As you can see, I'm not breathing heavy. It's 4 minutes into the round. My mouth is closed. It's not because I have great cardio. I hear that sometimes, like, oh, you have such good cardio. Believe me, I don't have good cardio. That's not a strength. I have good overall endurance. I could probably roll for a half an hour. And at times can be explosive or quick. So as you can see, he's trying to pass my guard, but I just have my foot on his hip. He's not addressing it, he's wrist fighting. So if you don't address my foot on your hip, we could wrist fight all day. See, even there, he grabbed my ankles for a second and he started picking me up. That's what he should be focusing on. Controlling my legs, 2-on-1 leg control, until your hips are past, my knees, and then you switch to head control. See, he's just sitting on my foot. I'm very comfortable there. I feel no strain. My legs aren't hurting. And I could stay like that for hours. It demonstrates the efficiency and the importance of good frames. So there I hit him with my tripod sweep. Now I'm going to try to do a pass I've been working on, a very slow, controlled. I don't even have to make it into slow motion. As you can see, I stapled his leg with my left leg. And now I'm looking to switch that staple to my right leg. And now I'm pretty much close to being passed. It's going to be really hard for him to stop me with that one knee. See, I'm making space. I'm just creeping forward. Now I just got my hips in front of that knee. And there's really no connection now with his legs to stop me. Again, very slow, very incremental. It doesn't lead to injury for either me or my opponent. At the end, I pass right on the buzzer. It's always great working with him. Even though he's big and strong, I trust him. I feel the same way about Big Billy, his brother, Game of Thrones. So here we go. So this is White Belt Frank. I just want to quickly tell you a story while I feel him out here. I met him about a month ago, maybe a little longer, and I don't really remember. I meet a lot of people. It's a big academy. But he told me since he met me, he's been taking a lot of private lessons. That's probably with Mike Codella's sons. Either, one of his sons. So now I'm rolling with him, and he's pretty hard to grab. He's hard to engage. He's in good shape. He's 53. He's in good shape, but he's 153 pounds. I'm used to dealing with really big guys, so definitely helps when someone's lighter. But the point being is he moves really well, and he's only been training for a month, but he did do a lot of privates. And I don't know how many times a day he's training, but again, I'm not saying he's amazing on the jiu-jitsu hierarchy. He's really a blue or a purple or something like that. I'm just saying he's good for a brand new white belt. Everything has to be in context. So I haven't really tried anything yet. I'm just fending him off. I just did 6 minutes with Turk. Eventually the cardio will catch up with you, but if you regulate it properly, like I could roll probably close to 30 minutes without really being destroyed. So here I have like a butterfly guard, but he's good at like disconnecting and then trying to close the gap, and he's just his grips aren't there where they should be and things of that nature. But there's a lot of things he's doing well. For someone who just started, that's better than I was, much better. You could see all the usual players in the background. Yusuf's back there, George, Brian, someone in a devastating mount. That rash guard that Joe has in the right with the American flag on it, you could buy it at X Marshall. The link is in the description. If you use Jits over 50, you get 15% off, and I think it's on sale. One of my classmates just picked it up. I think he ended up paying $35 because it was on sale and he got the discount. So, still feeling him out, really haven't done anything offensive, being polite. But I'll tell you, he's going after it. He's a white belt. He's using that white belt strength and athleticism that he thinks he needs. Oh, that's Jonathan with the black rash guard in the background. He's an amazing black belt. Half guard player, big guy. So here he's grabbing my neck. You know that when someone grabs my neck like that, I love to butterfly sweep them in that direction. See, it almost happened there. But I didn't get a chance to do it. I don't know, I guess my hook wasn't in. So there I just swept him with a tripod sweep. And he kind of was like so disappointed. I asked him, I go, you all right? Because when he fell, his face was like, oh, you got me, So here I go right to mount. Now I could grunt out this Americana. I could jump off him and go to side control and twist my hips and rip it. But I really just want to get something with less effort. So now I go to the other arm to see how strong it is. And I have to say, Frank is a strong guy, especially for 53. So there he's bucking me forward. So when he does the hip bump, he's got to land on his side and bring his knee in. If he just does a straight hip bump and I go up on his guard, I'm just going to use it to ride it up. And as you can see, now his elbows are away from his body and he's even weaker. Elbows, the further away they go, the weaker they get. If I get his elbow above his head, I mean, think about it. How much arm strength does he have at that point? Here I'm spreading out. I'm spreading out my mount to lower my hips into him. And I use an Ezekiel, no-gi Ezekiel choke. That also works when you're mounted, believe it or not. If the guy makes the mistake of leaning forward and just giving you his neck.
Thank you, brother. There's so much. Just being careful of the butterfly hits. So, 2-on-1 leg control with your
So I'm teaching him 2-on-1 leg control, what I was just talking about with Turk 182. So this is a very common mistake. People try to wrestle you. They try to get to like upper body and they just kind of look past your legs. But that's the main fence that you have to address. So if he grabs both my legs with you know, both hands, now I have to address that. Now I'm going to grab his wrist.
I want a wrist fight, you don't.
Right, so as I just said, I want a wrist fight, he doesn't. And as you can see, he's doing a pretty good job of back-to-back movement, back and forth movement.
So much better.
Look, 2-on-1. He's just doing an inefficient grip. I'm not getting into all the technicalities with him at this moment. But if I could just give him a few words of advice, and then he could think about that principle-wise going forward. Then one day I'll tell him, grab the top of my knee with my ankle. So he kind of did it there, almost automatically. So there, as you can see, look how he overreaches here, and I just misdirect and trap his tricep and sweep him before he knows what's happening. So I figured I'd put that in slow motion. I thought that was cool. Again, as you can see, he overcommitted. So here I'm just going right to the arm triangle. He doesn't really know it's coming. He's answering the phone, which doesn't work. You'll hear, it just buys you a couple of seconds, if that, and it doesn't lead to anything. If you're answering the phone, you probably lost. So here I'm doing finally a little stand-up pass. As you can see, I went right by because I put my knee next to his hip. But that stutter step that I do, and I've practiced that a million times. So it's not that it's fast, it's that it's fast and technical, where my legs are landing. So here I'm finding out that he's 53.
You just started. Your first class was a month ago?
He's telling me his first class was a month ago.
Excellent. You're doing great.
And I'm just giving him an honest assessment that he's doing great. He is. I mean, when I was a new white belt, I didn't have that type of movement, and, you know, I wasn't swimming in the right direction the way he is.
How many times you pushed into me? Next thing you know, I'm on your
Now
back.
I'm explaining a little bit of that yin and yang. So you don't want to grab somebody and push them back and forth. You want to roll around their strength. I don't want to get into a push and pull. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.